Hello and welcome to Sotogrande Television, where we're bringing you today an absolutely outstanding story. Joining me today is the Claassen family, and I'll be speaking to their boys first. This is Hugo and Enrique, and they have a very particular plight. Boys, tell me, what is it that you are actually trying to make public, and explain to me how you're going to achieve that?
Well, I'm gonna explain the story a little bit. We are two brothers, we are coming from Holland. And what happens in Holland when children get a disability, then they are at risk of the fixtures of the school, and schools get money from the government by the fixtures. Okay. When they are bad, the school gets less money.
Mm-hmm. So what is the plight that you are sailing around the world for? You're telling me you're dyslexic, and you're telling me you're finding it hard to find a school. Now, is it as an experience that's just recently happened, or has this been going on for some time? Clearly, if you fancy sailing around the world, you probably won't do that just for anything. You must have had some sort of experience and history with this subject. Hugo?
Yeah, we are already sitting 3 years at home, and 16,000 children in Holland also are sitting longer than a year at home.
And this is because the school does not want to take you in, and there are not enough places for children suffering with dyslexia?
Schools don't want to get us in, and the schools, they say where we need to go, that's not for, that's too low.
You mean your results?
Yeah, no, they say you need a certain level to get in, and we are above that, and the schools for our level, they don't want to take us in.
Mm-hmm. That's incredible, guys. How old are you?
14.
Enrique? 15. My God, and you've been out of school for 3 years already?
Yeah.
That's quite incredible. Surely your parents, I can imagine, must be absolutely, seething with this as a subject, that they cannot find education for their children.
Yeah, my parents, especially my mother, is now really hard in fighting against the government. My mother is going tomorrow again to court because the Child Protection Service tries to get us out of the parental control, and yeah, they want to stop us for showing the problem that happens in Holland.
Mm-hmm. So just let me get this straight. The Child Protection Service would rather have you leave the family, although this is a happy family unit, and all the problem is the fact that you need extra help in schooling?
Yeah, and the Child Protection Service is now trying us to get out of parental control, and I think then they also gonna try, when they have that, to put us in a closed institution where school is at, and the only one that is in Holland that is for youth criminals.
That is just incredible. What made you link this issue to the idea of sailing around the world?
Well, we saw Laura Decker coming in St. Martin. She finished her journey, and when she started it, she got the same problems with Child Protection Service. She couldn't go sailing because she needed to go to school.
Yes, this was widely publicized all over the world, actually.
Yeah, and so we thought, yeah, she can't go to school, so we are going to set sail for school.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so this is your slogan. If I ask camera to go in a little bit, sailing for education. Have you got any sponsorship at all, or support in order to do this journey?
We had a lot of supporters, especially from Magic Marine. They give the clothes. And also from the World School, because they are providing now education on distance, and that's really helpful.
Yes, I can imagine.
I forgot some very important, also harbors, like this one. It's so good that they support our campaign by helping us, and when they don't do it, we can't go further.
Mm-hmm. And you're telling me 16,000 children in Holland experience a similar situation?
Yeah.
That's quite incredible. Guys, what are you doing to publicize your fantastic campaign, Sailing for Education? Tell me what you're doing in order to get it out there in the world.
Searching for the media, like this. But after the media, we got also Facebook, Enrique and Hugo Claassen, and we got also a website, sailingforeducation.com.
That's brilliant. Are you not slightly scared to go out there for a trip around the world on your own?
No, the sea is always the same. If you go 1 hour on the sea with rough weather, it is the same if you go a whole day, only it is a little bit harder, but we can manage.
And how many years have you been sailing in order to get the knowledge of what you're about to take on?
Well, we have sailed from young, from when we are little, and we have learned the last few months. We have learned so much. Yeah.
Who from? Master Dad?
Yeah.
Also, yeah.
Most of him.
Okay. Now, you've just come from Mallorca, I understand. Tell us what you were in Mallorca for.
We didn't came yet from Mallorca. We need to go again to Mallorca. We were
Okay.
invited.
With the boats, and then we flew to Mallorca, and because we were invited, and we could not manage to get with the boats because it was too short time.
What's happening in Mallorca?
Well, there's an organization, this one, and they are doing really a lot for dyslexic people to help them out, and also their families to understand, and also schools to understand what is dyslexia and to deal with it.
How long do you think it might take you to do the trip that you have envisaged?
To Mallorca or around the world?
Around the world.
With the speed of the boats now, I think from now 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years? Wow. You are very brave indeed, I must say. Hat off to you guys. It's a pleasure talking to you. Listen, guys, all the best, first of all, with making it around the world, but also to for this to not be in vain, for this plight to actually help you solve the issue, and that you will find schools and that you can continue your education like every child has its right to. Thank you very much, Enrique and Hugo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And if I now turn to Dad, Guillermo Claassen. Guillermo, now that sounds Spanish to me. Tell me the background.
Yeah, well, my mother is Spanish, and she was married with a Dutch man, my father, and that's where I have the Spanish name from.
So you must feel at home here.
Yeah, no, it was quite good when I just arrived in A Coruña. Then I told the boys it's a strange feeling. I was more feeling coming back home than I was in Holland.
Incredible. Guillermo, you and your wife, you must have been struggling with this as a subject for so many years. I mean, 3 years out of school, I can imagine that started well before this came about. How do you keep your energy going? How angry are you with what's happening to you as a family?
Yeah, well, it's like a real roller coaster. You have your ups and downs, and it's your real worst nightmare where you're getting into, and you will not believe it until you face it yourself. And what happened, it's ridiculous. It's you cannot describe it. So we try to do it later on, perhaps, but first we have to make the battle going on.
Do you feel let down by your country?
Yeah, not only let down, they try to crush you, and just to keep the system alive, what is hurting a lot of children, and that's totally not fair. And we feel how it is to be left alone and kicked out of the society because you're not going into school, and that's so unfair.
So have you been mainly battling with lawyers over the last years, with the schooling system, with the social services, or all three at once?
Not only the only three, with everything that comes at mind we have a struggle. So we have a struggle with the social services, we have a struggle with the school system, we have to struggle with justice because we have to put them in school and we cannot do it. We have now a big struggle with the child protection services who want to take them out of the parental control. It's every piece of bureaucracy and part in Holland, it's looking like they're all fighting against us, and it's just how the system has evolved in the past till what it's become now, and there is no place for solutions.
My God, I mean, for years and years ongoing, that must have cost you an enormous amount of money.
It has cost me everything. It's we've sold our house, our cars, everything we've got. I had to close the company because you cannot be. I had a very creative job, and you cannot be creative anymore. And so it influenced everything. Luckily their mom was a crisis manager, but yeah, this is a big crisis and you're not able to do a normal job because all your concentration is at the family, and we lost everything. This is just our last bits and pieces, and yeah, well.
That's incredible. And from the boys I've heard that 16,000 children are affected in Holland alone by this particular situation of schools literally closing doors on them just because they are not fully able.
Yeah, and it's the 16,000, that number is given by the government. It's their own figure. They did start an inquiry and they're going to present it in February. And that number is going to be even higher than more than 25,000 children.
Goodness me. How do you feel about your boys sailing around the world? What was your initial reaction when they said to you, sat you down, Dad, actually this is what we want to do to draw attention? Or was this a communal plan that you all came up with and actually worked out and everybody took their part?
No, no, no. They came with a plan, and I said, "Well, are you totally out of your mind? This is not good, and you cannot do it because that's too dangerous. The sea is something that you have to have a lot of respect of, and the sea doesn't take prisoners of war. So that's totally not going to happen. But yeah, when the Child Protection Services started to get them out of the parental control to try it, then said, okay, guys, let's go for it. But you have to prove me that you can do it." So they did the training by the IRA, that's a British thing where you can learn sailing, but also they give a lot of training. So they did the ocean survival training. They showed me they can navigate 24-hour race also during night, and they get the 5th place of it. And yeah, so they proved me they can sail and they can handle, they can navigate, they can do first aid. So they have to show me, because I'm responsible as a parent and they're my most precious thing that we got. So they have to prove me that they are able to sail, and they succeed.
What an incredible decision for you to make. Are you going to sit at home watching telly, or what are you going to do while they're out at sea?
No, I'm following the boys because I think sailing technically they are very fit to do so, but they're still quite young, so emotional, they have to learn a lot. And so I'm sailing behind them on a little 1 meter bigger boat, and just to keep an eye on sight if they're doing fine. If they have a problem, they can ask on the radio. And unfortunately, they had to help me out sometimes because I'm sailing solo on the boat, and my autopilot was broke. So the boats navigate for 2 boats, and they guide me in safe to a harbour during a big storm on the sea.
And Mum has to stay back in Holland?
Yeah, somebody has to do the dirty job, and that was Mom. Mom is tomorrow going to court again because we have to come in, and yeah, she deals with all the lawsuits and yeah, the services,
and the documents that need to be
the
supplied, or
yeah, documents, letters, reactions, talking with lawyers. She's talking with us by Skype, by telephone, and so we have a very good connection to each other. And yeah, so we're still a team. There that we are far apart from each other, but. Yeah.
This must be an extreme. I mean, if it hasn't been tough before, and an even more tough time since you're now separated physically. From Mum, from your wife. I cannot imagine what strengths are required in order to pull this off. The support that you've been given by so many people, does that elevate you?
Yeah, you really need it. Sometimes you're totally down, and well, I'm not going to say it because but you want to jump overboard and just let it stop. It's like a nightmare that you said, wake me up and I'm getting out of it. And then you read the support letters of children and parents in Holland that they are facing the same problems. And unluckily for them, they're not able to do a project like this. But we're doing it also for them, and they give us support. And then, yeah, that is the little thing you need just to keep on going when you're down. And yeah, sometimes when the sun is nice, then you have the upper again. So it's what I said, a roller coaster.
And your journey has brought you to Sotogrande. Tell us how your arrival went when you came here. Obviously, you had to get past the port authorities.
Yeah, well, because we are doing with a large, small budget or no budget, we ask all the harbours that we get in if they want to support our case and help us in a way they can. And when we arrived here in Port of Sotogrande, it was really late, and there was a nice girl at the reception that said, okay, you can stay, let the boat here, come back tomorrow morning and let's see what we do. And I must say this port is supporting us in a good time, and ports like this makes it able for them to keep on continuing their campaign, because we are on our last pennies, and yeah, this is the difference between or to have to stop or to keep on going.
I'm sure the Puerto here in Sotogrande is very proud to do their bit in your journey, in your plight, in your campaign. It's been a pleasure talking to you, although you know, on a very, very tough subject. I wish you all the luck, Dad. I wish you all the luck, boys. Thank you very much to the Claassen family talking to us. This is Claudia Pfeiffer at the Puerto in Sotogrande. If you would like to support the boys, do log on Sailing for Education Facebook as well, and support them in any way you can. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time. This is Claudia Pfeiffer for Sotogrande Television.